We begin with some people from the Feng family celebrating and talking about their master finally getting married to his childhood love. The young lord enjoys the moment as well, but watching them from a distance is a sword ninja who wants to join in on the celebration. However, this is only the beginning of the problems, as we see a warrior with a purple glow entering the area and defeating the soldier with ease by stabbing him through the stomach. Things only become worse as the ninja kills the entire village in the middle of their celebration, and we see the young lord dying next to his beloved wife, commenting that they are together even in death. After the warrior leaves the battlefield, we are given a narration that explains the spirit realm and the nether world as polar opposites. The nether demons want to invade the spirit realm, so the magic warriors come together and fight them as a heavenly alliance in the spirit realm itself. We see our hero Lee making his entrance, and his group is led by their commander Sean, who charges at the beasts on her own demon lion. A flurry of attacks follows as our heroes defeat all the beasts in front of them, but then a giant cobra monster appears. That's when Lee unleashes his thunder punch to get rid of the cobra monster. He might have been the hero here, but Shang rebukes him for wasting his spirit energy when they need to store it for an overpowered self-devouring beast. Now, we see a man from the nether forest named Li Mu trying to tame a wolf that bites him out of spite. Meanwhile, our heroes go to confront the super beast, which is revealed to be a stage 3 threat. There's no time for chatting as the team begins their battle, and Lee unleashes his thunder powers again. The beast survives the attack, so Shang calls upon the dragon gods to unleash an ultimate dragon blast that will help her defeat the beast. The rest of the team use their moves to keep the beast distracted, but Lee's friend named Yu gets attacked by the beast's skull demons in the middle of the draw. In a flashback, we see Lee forging a spirit weapon, although his babe friend Ling doesn't understand what he's trying to do. Ling scolds our hero for being too rash with what he's made, and even Yu makes fun of Lee for doing everything on an impulse. Back to the present, Yu gets saved by Ling when she uses her powers to distract the beast. However, the worst is yet to come, as the other monsters also rush to the scene and try to fight our heroes. It's at that very moment that the wolf and Li Mu show up and scare the monsters with their tough talk and rough growls. Their tactics seem to work, and they run away once the monsters bow down in subjugation. Li Mu also sets off a spirit bomb, and it causes all the monsters to be blown to bits. Back to our heroes. Ling acts funny with the boys, but then the beast attacks them and eats Ling, while Li watches on in horror. He unleashes his thunder powers upon the beast, but it's of no use as it's way too powerful for him to defeat. Yu also stops Li because he doesn't want to lose his only other buddy in this battle. The team worries that the beast will use Ling's energy to increase its power, and that's exactly what it does. The dragon spell gets broke in, and Shang has had enough of this drama, so she decides to end it all by unleashing her true powers. Lee pleads with her to stop because he doesn't want to lose Ling, but when his kind words fail, he awakens his heavenly lightning to stop Shang and call out to Ling. In an intense sequence, our hero appeals to Ling and touches her heart. She frees herself from the beast and is happily reunited with Lee in a heavily lit sequence that also happens to defeat the beast. The team now makes their way back to the Feng base camp, but find it in tatters, filled with dead bodies everywhere. Shang mentions that this is the work of a nether who used her powers to manipulate souls. Suddenly, Ling gets attacked by Shang, who believes that she's the purple glow warrior that created this whole mess. Lee is shocked to see Ling seemingly stabbed to death, and he wants to go help her out, but it's of no use as he's held down by the others. He can't stand the pain as he sees Yu also getting attacked by Shang, so he unleashes his thunder powers to attack her. However, he is beaten down from the back by Xing's assistant and is made to fall to the ground. Things look bad for our hero, but then Li Mu shows up and stops Xing's blade with ease. Even the wolf shows up to stop her assistant with his overpowered growl. Li Mu bargains for Li's life, and then we move forward to the immediate future where Shang is with her dad reporting on the recent events. After she leaves, her dad calls out to his friend Ju for a favor, and then Shang meets a girl named Zong who flirts with her and messes around by taunting her for killing Ling without any mercy. This angers Shang, so she unleashes her blade to make a point, and then she walks away. Song figures something is fishy, but doesn't know what to make of it as of now. Lee has a bad dream about Ling and wakes up next to Li Mu in the Arctic mountains. He is shocked to see that he is alive, and then Li Mu reveals that he was friends with his grandfather. Our hero doesn't care about any of his nonsense, but then Li Mu mentions that Lee can see Ling and Yu again if he goes to the Armament Sea and completes 12 spiritual tests. Lee is not too confident at first, but then he gets a spirit bomb from Li Mu and moves forward. Meanwhile, Yu wakes up in the netherworld and is unable to understand what's going on. Things go from bad to worse worse, as a demon baby wakes up and starts attacking him in the middle of several dead bodies. A tense sequence follows as Yu does his best to avoid the demon baby, but he gets smacked away without mercy, and then he realizes that he is actually not in the spiritual realm. Now, Lee reaches the sea where a girl named Leon guides him and a group of other warriors who want to become a part of the armament sect. A boy named Yi is mainly here to stare at Leon's pretty face, but Lee doesn't care for any of his shallow desires and keeps to himself. Now, Leon jumps on top of a cliff and asks the others to join her via this obstacle course. The men fail in their attempts and fall to the ocean, but it's a Dark Lord named Yang who is particularly dismissive of the others. Yi loses his footing, but is able to get to the top by jumping on drops of water. However, Yang follows him and also breaks the pillars to refuse the other boys a chance. This is highly unethical, but our hero doesn't let this stop him, so he uses his thunder powers to guide him to the top as well. Everyone applauds him for his efforts, but Yang clearly seems to have a problem with Lee. Meanwhile, Yu continues his struggle against the demon baby in the Nether Realm, and all hope seems lost, but then he gets saved by a mystery man who uses his arrows to slice through the demon baby and defeat him. Now, we move back to Leon, who is busy explaining the past and the rules of the armament sect. She goes on to talk about artifices that can be used by sect members, and she begins by showing the smelting room. The task at hand here is to forge an amazing artifact so that the boys can move forward to the next stage. This is easy work for most of them, so they start summoning their materials for the purpose of smelting, but then a girl named Tang makes an entry with her snow robe, and then she makes a comment on how talented the people are over here. However, before Leon can brief her about the contestants, Yang creates an unholy coffin and uses his blood to make an epic form. This impresses Tang, but she doesn't seem to like Lee, who is making a very simple artifact. The boys might be good with their spells, but Tang uses her skills of seduction to make them falter in their roles, while Leon watches from the side in embarrassment. Even Yang is shown to be a victim of her skills, but Yi doesn't seem to be charmed by the wily vixen because Leon has already stolen his heart. Lee also remains focused, so Tang tries to touch him with her curves, hoping to catch him slipping. However, this backfires on her as his spell tears off her clothes and she has to cover up fast. Lee is angrily told to leave the sect, but Tang's master Dong shows up and says that she brought this on herself. Once this drama is done, the boys who have passed the round make it forward to the 12 pillars. Yi and Lee both make their introductions, as does Yang, so the elders prepare for an exciting time ahead of them. Lee tries to awaken a pillar with the thump of his hand, but it doesn't seem to do anything of use. Our hero is mocked by Elder Dong, as well as Yang, who goes on to display his powers to such an extent that the spirit pillar wakes up and showcases its beauty. This alerts the King Elder, Master Yang, who arrives to everyone bowing in front of him. He learns about what Yang had done, so he honors him and says that he must be protected by his guards, as he is a future prospect. Lee has a chat with Yi, who explains that he can learn the location of his friends if he meets a lady named Fang in the city area. Our hero does as he's told and goes to meet Fang, but she says that he's not ready to take on the challenges of the Netherworld. Later, Song shows up asking for Ling as well, but this time Fang says she's worthy enough to take her advice. As Tang curses Lee for what he did to her, our hero is given a new task of forging a gem, but the material he's given has phosphorus in it. He mocks the men who are trying to test him and throws some phosphorus on them to show his resentment. He even makes the gem by using a covered hand, so Tang tries to test him out some more. It's of no use, as our hero is able to tackle all her problems with ease, and it makes Tang upset, so she complains about him to Leon. However, Ying also notices that Tang is getting close to Lee, and he decides to look into the matter. Now, we see Yu, who is being taken away to a new town by the mystery man who had saved him. He wants to know why he was saved because this person is a nether, but he learns that there is no war between warriors and nether demons here as of now. After looking at the town, Yu sees the general of the area who has a heavenly mark on his neck, suggesting a bigger conspiracy. He wants to know more, so he decides to get to the bottom of this new puzzle. Back at the spiritual realm, Tang uses Lee to cast an ice spell, but she ends up doing a bit too much, and even our hero isn't able to help her out with the spell. This leads to a giant explosion, and as expected, the couple gets into a fierce fight. The argument lasts for a bit, but Lee doesn't have time to waste on a blonde babe, so he walks away and lets Leon deal with Tang. Meanwhile, Yang and his assistant sit down and figure out a way to make life even harder for our hero. At night, Lee looks at the sky and thinks back to what Li Mu had told him earlier. He decides to use this information to his advantage and goes to a pillar to activate it. This tactic works like a charm, and the pillar starts glowing, which grabs Yang's attention. The Dark Lord rushes to the scene so that he can find out who was able to unleash such power, and is shocked to see Lee standing there. Now, we see Yu defeating some guards and breaking into a nether castle, and he eavesdrops on his savior and an assassin planning their next move on Lee. He is found out, and then he gets attacked by the assassin who breaks through the roof. Yu starts running away, but his efforts are of no use as the assassin catches up to him and uses his powers to taunt him. It leads to a painful sequence where Yu has to be ripped open to expose his demonic energy, and it leads to him becoming a demon boy. Yu simply rushes away from the scene as fast as he can, but the assassin anticipates something interesting coming up. That's exactly what happens, as Yu unleashes his demonic energy everywhere while he takes down some evil guards on his way to a portal to the spiritual realm. He is even able to break through walls and defeat demon babies with ease. So the assassin figures that Yu is the best way to move his plan forward because he can be used as a pawn. He finally meets the demon boy, who is unable to open the final spiritual door, and then he uses his powers to tease Yu. However, the assassin gets surprised when Yu fires a finisher blast at him. He manages to evade the blast and uses his cloth to absorb Yu's demonic energy. This allows Yu to come back to his spirit form and finally open the door, but this is all part of the assassin's plan. Back to the real world, Yang challenges Lee, so he decides to fight him, but is surrounded by Master Ying's guards. However, things take a twist when Yu shows up having passed through the nether door. However, even the assassin can travel through the nether world because of Yu's earlier actions. He goes to the Dark Tower and joins Ying's family as they are in cahoots to overthrow the elders. Now, Song goes to Master Ying and makes a pleasant appearance because they seem to know each other. Song is seemingly interested in taking someone on loan from Master Ying, but then they learn about the fight between Yang and Lee. We move back to our hero as he takes on his opponent, who orders his guards to step down. A fierce battle erupts and the opponents trade blows with each other for a while. Yang is able to summon endless weapons, and it annoys Lee, so he decides to use up all his powers and unleash a thunder blast. However, Song interrupts the fight and causes our hero to faint from all the damage he's already taken. He wakes up in a blood spring with no clothes on and is shocked to see Song staring at his body. This is a little embarrassing for Lee, but he forgets all shame when Song tells him about Ling. A flashback shows us that Song was interested in Lee right from the start, and she enters his mind to see his inner thoughts. Song gets scared when she sees Lee's true powers, but teases him after that. Things are about to get spicy, but the news shows up, much to our hero's surprise. He is happy to see his friend, but learns that he was at the Nether Realm and has bad news for everyone. Song gets skeptical and asks for an explanation, but Yu gets angry and challenges her with his dark energy blast. This is no problem for her as she tackles the blast with a simple blow of her lips. Song goes on to explain that the seal in the spiritual realm needs to be protected at all costs because the Nether Realm is vulnerable now. Yu gets to work, but then Song is about to kiss Lee out of her flirtatious need for drama. It so happens that Yi and Tang arrive at this very moment, and the blonde babe gets upset upon seeing our hero naked in the water with a new girl. There's no time for frivolous thoughts, as Yang makes a plan with his assistant to take care of the elders. The men realize they need to attack Dong first, and immediately begin their sabotage. Meanwhile, Song goes to Master Sing with Lee, and tells him that he needs to step up and fight the nether demons. As this happens, we see Dong getting attacked and bullied by Yang and his assistant. Song continues by saying the Dark Lord wants to become the next sect master, and it alarms Sing. Yi shows up and unites the other chosen ones, while he thinks back to his own past, where he was ordered to skin animals alive by the leader of the Dark Tower. Now, Ying enters Ting's house where she is chatting with Leon and says that he's here to take her life. What follows is a promotional series of short clips promising us that Season 2 will be even better than Season 1. If you wanted to see it, then like, share, and subscribe right now. See you soon.